Hey gang, before we get started in today's video, Dad and I wanted to share some super awesome news with you guys. We are so happy to announce that we have acquired the studpack.com domain name, and we could not have done it without y'all's support, so thank you so much. This is a huge milestone for Dad and I, so we really appreciate it. There are a lot of plans that we have for this website in the future. We can't wait to roll those out to you guys. We're gonna announce them as we continue to build this thing, but the first order of business, you guys have been asking for it, and we finally have it. It is merch. So before we brought this announcement to y'all, we wanted to have all the right pieces in place, and we feel like we have almost all the pieces in place. We have the shirt, they're super comfortable. We have the sizes. We supported a local business and their printing company. That was a big part for us, especially during the pandemic. So we have that down and we're almost ready to go, but there's just a small problem. We don't know how many shirts that we need to order initially. So if you guys could do us a huge favor and drop us a comment or a like on the video, that would be a huge help to us. We need to hear y'all's voice. And if you would be interested in supporting us through our merchandise, that would be a huge help if you guys could just be super vocal down in the comments for us. So with all that being said, let's hear from Dad how he got his worst shock.
Hey gang, it's Paul with StudPack. Welcome back to the channel. In a previous electrical video, I mentioned that the worst I ever got shocked in my life, I wasn't even doing electrical work. I was hooking up the ice maker on a residential refrigerator, just like this one here. So this video is for entertainment purposes only. Electricity is deadly, it's dangerous. If you ever have any anomalies in your house, please call a certified electrician. Well worth the money. Your life is not worth you doing it yourself.
Right.
But we were helping a single mom friend of ours move that day, and she had a little girl. And if I hadn't gotten shocked that day, certainly one of them would have gotten shocked in their bare feet on the wet kitchen floor, grabbing something out of the refrigerator. So I got shocked and I was able to fix it to make it safe before I left that day. So before we recreate that situation where I got shocked, let's talk about why a modern electrical system is so safe for us. We have a 3-prong receptacle here in a grounded house. So a grounded house, we have a bare ground wire that's connected here. Our white neutral is on the silver screw, and our black hot is on the gold screw. That's all buried behind this cover plate. We have a receptacle tester here. We're going to plug it in, and it indicates that it is wired correctly. So what will happen if we have a fault means that the hot is actually going to touch the metal case of the refrigerator. It's going to travel on this green wire, which is bonded to the case right here, through the ground, through this prong, back to the panel on the ground wire, and it's going to trip the breaker instantly. That's how it should work. So before we make this dangerous, let's get our PPP on, and we'll show you how that refrigerator was wired on the day I got shocked. All right, guys, we've got our refrigerator sitting on some non-conductive plywood. I've got on gloves and glasses, and I've recreated here in this receptacle the way that it was wired back when I got shocked. So we have a 3-prong receptacle installed in a metal box. And this was in an ungrounded house. I only had 2 wires, and you'll notice right here, I've only got the hot and the neutral going into the box. Did not use the ground. That was a 2-wire house. There was no ground at all in that house. But the black wire was on the gold screw, the white wire was on the silver screw, and we're gonna show you later how the ground on that house got hot. So this is plugged in right here. I'm gonna plug in this tester, and we're gonna see what it says with a hot ground. Now it says neutral and hot reversed, right? Well, they're not really, but the ground is hot, and that's how this is interpreting the data it's receiving. So let me show you the next thing I had to deal with in addition to the receptacle, and that was the water lines. So that house we were helping our friends move into that day, it had threaded steel water lines. This house has copper water lines. So I've got my tester set on voltage. I've got this one in the hot. If I go to the valve, I've got 122 volts. And that's correct because we know that this is bonded to our electrical service. And then I can go to here and also get 122 volts, verifying that our ground is working properly. So now let's plug that refrigerator in again and show you how it affects the refrigerator. All right, we've got our refrigerator plugged into this receptacle that is wired with a hot ground. Now let's power that up. I heard the refrigerator come on. It's working fine. The refrigerator doesn't see that the ground is hot. All it sees is the hot and the neutral, but this entire back is electrically charged. So what I did down here, I got the other half of that extension cord with the female plug. The black side is attached to the case right there, and the white wire is attached to the water line. So just like I showed you, there's a continuity with the ground. I now have a circuit. Watch it. And you may be saying, yeah, but that's not much. That's ghost voltage, whatever that is. Well, check this out. I can power a light bulb between this metal case of the refrigerator and that water line. And check this out. You think it'll run my circular saw? Of course it will. Pretty crazy, huh? So just like this saw is running because it got in between those 2 points, I got shocked because I got in between those 2 points.
The way I look at it is that there was enough electricity to renovate a house going through you.
Yep, and like we said before in that other video, this metal is a conductor. The electrons don't care what the conductor's made of. It can be the proper conductor or an improper conductor, or you as a conductor. So you may be wondering, will a non-contact voltage indicator show that that's hot? Let's check it out. Look at that. This whole refrigerator has 120 volts on it, looking for a way out. Pretty cool, huh? All right, we're back in safe mode. This is all off now. And you may be wondering, well, Paul, how did you get in between there? We understand how the saw worked and everything, but what happened to you? So we had moved them in, and they had asked me, can you hook up the ice maker? I said, sure. So I ran down to the hardware store. I hooked it up to the refrigerator, just like this one here. And this was a hot day in August, southern Louisiana. The doors were open. We weren't running the air conditioner because we were moving in. I was covered in sweat. So I had this line over here at the valve. And the space I was in was much more cramped than this, but I had my crescent wrench on there and I was tightening it. And that last little push, I put this hand on the refrigerator to get some leverage. And then 120 volts went from this hand to this hand, and it threw me back against the wall. I was probably near my let go threshold. If you haven't heard that term before, be sure you check it out after this video. Mike Holt has a great video about let go threshold. My wife must have heard that something happened because she came running and said, what happened? And I said, well, I think I got shocked, but I don't know how. So I went outside, I got everybody out of the house, and I turned off the main breaker for the whole house. And I came inside and I took this apart. And let me show you what I found. Now remember, all this was behind the wall when I took the cover plate off. We just set this up here. We screwed that to the cabinet so you could see what we're talking about. So I took the receptacle out, and that's when I realized this house only has 2 wires, a hot and a neutral, no ground. That was the first problem. The second problem was it was a metal box without a connector in the back. So you can see here, I've got my 2 wires right here, and they had stripped the sheathing way back. So it was just the wires going into the metal box. And if you can come around and check the back, Jordan, you can see what I was dealing with. And this was old wire. I think it's called DBRC, double braid rubber coated. The insulation on modern Romex is pretty tough, but that old rubber insulation was easily nicked by the sharp edge on the back of the box. And when that hot wire got nicked, it energized the box, which energized the ground. Let me show you over here what I'm talking about. So here's a grounded receptacle. And when it's installed in a metal box, this part right here that wraps around the back of this one, that's called the yoke. So now it's touching the metal box. So whatever potential the metal box is at, whether it's hot, whether it's grounded, so is this yoke. And that yoke is attached to the ground by this little rivet right here. So I've got my tester set on continuity, put it in the ground, boom. On the ground screw, of course, and also on the screw for the cover plate. It's all bonded together. So when that black wire nicked the metal box, it made the ground hot because the yoke is touching that hot box. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. All right, so if you're wondering how I duplicated that hot ground via that nicked wire, we're all safe here, we're unplugged. I actually put a jumper between the hot and the ground. I've never done that in my life, and it really hurt me to do that. My anxiety level was way off the charts. So let's get rid of this, and I'm going to show you how we fixed it. I was able to find one of these connectors. A connector is a device made to fill in this knockout in the back of a box or the side of a box. That's a sharp edge. And a connector protects the wire from that sharp edge and anchors the wire. This one's actually made by Rayco. We'll put a link in the description below, and it installs from the inside of the box. In fact, it says on there, I don't know if you can get it, Jordan, this end inside box. So I was able to put it in just like that. And then the nicked wire, honestly, I don't remember what I did. I either put a piece of heat shrink tubing over it, or I got a piece of sheathing from some Romex and slid it over it. And I was able to put it through that new connector. And that was the best I could do. So I put them through there like that. And then I put on a non-grounded receptacle, just like that. And then of course, to plug in the 3-prong refrigerator plug, I had to put on one of these. And did I put the screw there? No, I did not, and I'll show you why. So remember I showed you on this grounded receptacle how the threaded insert for the cover plate screw is bonded to the yoke and to the ground? It's the same thing on this ungrounded receptacle. That threaded insert in there is bonded to the yoke. So if this box ever became hot again with a 3-prong adapter with the screw in the middle, that screw is going to energize the hot again. And that's why I didn't put that screw in there. I didn't want there to be any chance of another hot ground. Alrighty gang, so that was my experience that day. I was the victim of a 3-prong receptacle in a 2-wire system without a ground. It was installed in a metal box without a connector, and I had a water line to complete the circuit for me. My main takeaway from that whole experience was proper wiring techniques and to always use connectors on metal boxes. You have to, it's not an option. These are a variety of them. There's different kinds. These all install from the back. Obviously, I couldn't get to the back of the box in that house, so that's why I used the one from the front. Any of these will work. They all do the same thing. And I even keep some of these grommets in my electrical supplies. We put up a lot of fluorescent lights, and there's just a little knockout, the same size as this, in that light, and then the wires come through that. Well, that's a sharp metal edge, so I put that there to protect the wire. So we really hope that you like this video. Smash that like button if you like the video. Leave us a comment below, ask a question, and subscribe if you haven't already. We would really appreciate that, and we will see you on the next one.